Hello, everyone, and welcome to my channel, Okiki Consulting. My name is Fiyin Obayan, and you are here today because you're probably wondering, how do I start creating video content? Out of all the types of content you can create online, this happens to be my favorite type of content. So, whether or not you are just wanting to start a YouTube channel, maybe it's for vlogging or promoting your business or increasing your brand, this video will be a guide to help you get started. Step number one, choose your equipment. Make sure that you have equipment that is ready and available for you to create content. That could be anything from using your phone, it could be a GoPro, it could even be a DSLR camera. Just get started with what you have. If you have a phone, for example, and it's the S22 or the iPhone 13, there's amazing video capabilities right in your device. Go to your video settings within your phone, especially the pro settings, and make sure that your camera is turned to 24 frames per second to get that cinematic look. On an S22, which is what I have right here and what I use, you can even do that in ultra mode and it can go all the way up to 8K. And I believe similar settings are available on your iPhone as well. Also, there are apps that are helpful for editing. For example, InShot, or if you have an iPhone, you can use iMovie, and you can already get started on your content creation process. If you want to continue to level up in that process, you may want to graduate that to a camera when you have more time. The camera I have right here is Panasonic G7. This is a fairly affordable micro thirds camera. And the one that I'm using to film this right now is the Lumix G87. And so it doesn't have to be the most expensive camera if you're just wanting to get started and get going with your process. Once you figured out what device you want to use for video, the next step to think about is audio. Audio is super important for video. It's almost more important than the visual quality because if your video looks amazing but it sounds awful, most people will tune out and skip the next video right away. So you want to take care of that. If you can not afford any accessories in this department, at least start with your phone and find a space that doesn't have a lot of sound. If you're in a room, for example, that has more carpet, that will absorb a lot of echoey sounds and that will improve the quality of sound for your video. So just make sure there's not a lot of external sounds going on so that people can really hear what you have to say, unless that's what you're going for. But just remember, audio quality is super important. If you are able to build from there, you may want to look into getting lavalier mics. If you're using a phone, you can have the lavalier mics that go and attach to your phone's audio. And there are, of course, lavalier mics that attach to other devices if you're using a camera. As you begin to upgrade in your equipment, you can start to use other amazing external mics as well, such as Rhodes. You can even use something as small as this, the Zoom H1N, and that's something that can attach to a lavalier mic, or you can just hold kind of lower if you want to, again, have an external microphone to capture that audio sound in a richer quality for your video. Another component about equipment is lighting. So if you can't afford to get a lot of external lighting, at least try and find a space, if you can, that has a lot of great natural light. So if you have a lot of windows in your house or somewhere that's bright, that will be really good. And to capture that light and make sure that you're well lit and that people can see you very well and see your expression and see everything about the scene that you're trying to capture. And from there, you may want to look into buying different types of lighting equipment. Many of them exist, and reflectors, and just begin to, again, the lighting add to what you're doing so that you look very clear and vibrant in your delivery of your video content. Number two, what is the purpose of your content? Moving on from equipment, one of the most important things about creating video is really truly understanding what is the purpose of your video. You're going to have the purpose of your video, and you're going to have your brand persona. Because I think this is something in video content creation that not a lot of people are talking about. There's so much video content out there, and there's still more to be created. But why are you creating these videos? What do you want that purpose to be? And who is that content for? Are you hoping to create content that entertains? Are you wanting how-to tutorials? Are you wanting to have content that's a curation of ideas and allows for community discussion? This will begin to guide the way you want to create content and why you're showing up in the content creation space. Because I'm sure, as you know, on YouTube or any other social media platform, there are so many content creators. So why do you want to show up? What makes you stand out? What are you bringing to the table? One of the pieces that really helps you answer that question is to understand, who is this content for? I think this is a part of content creation that people aren't really talking enough about. But who is the brand persona, the person, the type of person that you're hoping will receive your content? Think about your brand persona. Where do they live? Where do they consume their content? What type of content are they consuming? And is that the content you want to make? So, really think about your purpose and your brand persona. Let me explain more about the brand persona. So, let's say your brand persona is someone who likes to consume dance videos, and they really consume their dance videos on Instagram, TikTok, or YouTube Shorts. That will make a big difference as to what type of content you create and where you post it. So, really think about it for yourself. Who do you want that audience member to be? Where do they consume their content? And what type of content do they consume, right? Because if you're a dance video content maker, you're going to make different type of content than someone who is doing a community forum on a live stream. And you need to start to think about that and what is the best fit. It also ties into things like demographics. Where does your brand persona actually spend their time? Often people want to be on every platform, right? All at once. And especially if you're a solopreneur, that is going to spread you way too thin. And even if you have a team, you might not be getting the best quality for the content that you're putting out there. So it's often good to think of where you're doing your content as, where does your brand persona live? Think of your primary content place and then begin to think of your complementary content placements as well. And that will really inform the type of content you're creating. If you would like more content from me about figuring out your brand personas and different social media platforms and where they live and where you should be posting, make a comment below and I'll definitely follow up with a video on that. Step 3. Now that you have your equipment and you know your purpose and the audience of who it's for, it's time to plan your content. Different types of content need different types of plans. Let's start with short form. Short form is between 30 to 60 seconds. So, whatever you're planning, make sure you're thinking of your outline of ideas in bullet points. And you want it to be short, you want it to be spunky, you want it to get people's attention, lots of graphics, everything happening really fast. And that is what captures people's attention with short form video. Now let's go into what would be considered long form video. Long form video is what you see mostly on YouTube, like videos like this. Anything that is up to 10 minutes or more. This would be a regular video in the past, but nowadays it's considered long form because of short form videos. And with those videos, you have a whole range of videos and plans that you can offer. Is it a how-to video? Is it a story time? Is it a product review? Is it even a vlog? Figure out what type of video you're trying to post, and that will help guide the type of content you're creating with that video. So if it is something more structured, you definitely want to make a script. You want something that hooks people in. You want an outline of the points you want to get across to them so that they have clarity on what you're trying to convey and they can walk away with points and walk away with knowledge for themselves. Or you want to share an experience in the case of a vlog, and it's less structured and it's more like thinking about, where are the places you want to take your audience members so that they can share in that experience with you. Moving from long form, we're going into live stream. Live stream is definitely one of the longest forms of video that you can do. There are live streams of YouTube up to 2, 3 hours, right? So these are full community discussions. So if you have skills in leading community forums and community discussions, you want to think of content as an outline as to what are the topics we're going to talk about, and think about how in that process are you going to integrate the community feedback to keep that discussion going. Because when people are staying on calls for 2 or 3 hours, you definitely want to keep a conversation and keep them entertained. Number four, editing. So there are a lot of different editing softwares out there to really get you going. Again, going back to the mobile phone, one of my favorite editing softwares that is at a very low cost and can actually be used for free as well is InShot. What I love about InShot is that you can edit for different formats. So if you had to do a landscape video, for example, for YouTube with your phone, you can have that style, or you could have vertical video for short form as well. It has tons of effects, royalty free music. You could put video in video and a lot of different features to really make your videos pop online. It's whatever you need, it can do. More desktop format videos. If you are using a MacBook, obviously you can go into using iMovie, right? The OG. You can use that and it's free and it's ready to go. If you are a PC user, you may want to look into other free softwares as well. There's Shotcut, there is DaVinci Resolve, which is more intermediate, but it can do everything like color grading and has very intense editing capacities. And those are things you can get right on your desktop. I believe that's also available for Mac users. Mac users also, if you want to get more advanced, you can start using apps like Final Cut Pro. But again, we don't want to get you hung up on just getting started. So make sure that you are using softwares that you can create and go. Another software I think that is a bit underrated is something like Canva, which is kind of an all-in-one business app tool. And I can definitely do more tutorials on how to use Canva for your business. Let me know in the comments below if that is something that you want to see. So now we're here, ready to finally share your video creation with the world. A few things you may want to think about before you share that video. What is the export quality that you are using when you're sharing that video from your editing device? Make sure it's the highest quality possible. Also, make sure that you're able to check where you're posting this video and make sure that it's uploaded to the highest quality possible as well. It's not to say that all your videos have to be high end and cinematic to work. There's a lot of videos that don't look like high quality that do very well on YouTube. But if that is what you're going for, just make sure to check the settings to make sure that is the case. Number two, think about your thumbnail. And you can think of your thumbnail as the preview as to what the experience will be on your video. If you're on YouTube, thumbnails are definitely essential, and you want to pick one that really captures your audience attention and makes them want to watch the video. If you're using other platforms or short form video, it's less of a thumbnail the way YouTube has it and more of like that preview section of your clip. So you really want to pick that when you're uploading the video. You have an option to pick what area of your clip you want them to see first. And again, you want to pick something that will grab your audience's attention within that clip. Well, I hope that that was a helpful, comprehensive video to help you get started on creating video content. Be sure to like and subscribe and follow for more tutorials like this one. And if you're looking to work with someone like myself to really expand your video content creation, you can follow this YouTube channel and go to my website, Okiki Consulting, to get more video content strategy consulting solutions. And check the link below where I have a sign up for my video content bootcamp. And we can get into all these topics in a deeper way together and get you started on video content creation today.